Welcome out to Cors's Field, which is near Foxdale, and DEFA have a press release out. Jason, you're the man to talk to about this. We have a problem with ash trees in the Isle of Man. A fungus has made it over to the island.
Yeah, we've recently identified fungus Chalara Ash, which has now arrived on the island, or we confirmed recently that it's arrived on the island. We're in an area here which is being particularly affected. Just walking around, you can see many dead heads and dead branches to some of the young ash trees. It originated or came over from the mainland Europe into the UK and identified in the UK in 2012. We've been doing some surveys and not found anything up until just very recently, when we found a few samples, primarily in the south of the island.
So I'm taking it's airborne, is it? So it's bound to hit us eventually, was it?
Yeah, it's
no one's brought it over by choice or by accident?
No, it could have been brought in by imported plant material, or more likely it's come over on wind spores.
So were you ready for this? I mean, can you get ready for it?
No, not really. Once it's here, there's no known cure. There's no magic formula for actually getting rid of it. We can just advise and give control measures to sort of reduce the spread of the disease and sort of just try and slow it down, very much similar to what we do with Dutch elm disease.
Well, I've been around with you over the last few minutes, so we can show people what to look out for. Do you want to hear from people if they have this in their garden, or is it just something that they should just take the tree out? Yeah,
no, it's not a case of just taking the tree out. We believe that there's a proportion of the ash trees which hopefully will have an inbuilt genetic resistance. To identify them, we don't want people to go around just taking ash trees out for the sake of that. It's something that we want to hear from people if they think they've got the Chalara disease, but before we ask that, so that we don't get inundated with phone calls, we just ask them to take some measures and refer to the UK Forestry Commission website, look for Chalara, and there's lots of images on that website which will give you guidance on to compare that with your trees in your garden or on your land.
Is it a death sentence for that tree? I mean, or does it carry on? Or?
Potentially it is. Young trees like these ones that we're here now with, these can be die within 1 or 2 years, pretty much guaranteed that. Older trees take a lot longer to succumb to the disease, can possibly show a higher degree of resilience to the disease. But the one caveat to that is that the Chalara can weaken the tree's resistance to other diseases, such as honey fungus, which is something we have all over the island and have had for many, many years. And therefore, tree owners should just be aware of the disease and the implications it poses on them from a legal responsibility.
And do they perpetuate their own fungus problems? I mean, are they producing?
Yes, the live tree, foliage doesn't produce the spores. It's when the disease, when the leaf dies and falls, it's the following season off that dead leaf, a fungus, very small fungus growth on the dead racuses or leaf stalks, produces the spores literally next August, September time.
You all remember Dutch elm disease. Is it up there in the same sort of league?
This is probably Dutch elm disease is something that can be continued to be managed. It has different vectors. It's a beetle. It's a spore, but it's on a beetle, and we can take measures to really slow that down, and we have successfully slowed that down over the years that we've been doing it. We've only lost about 1% of our elms. This is different. There's very little that can be done apart from some just good biosecurity measures, and if possible, don't take plant material off your site.
Right, but they will all die. Will you be ashless unless it's one of these ones that's got the resistance?
Hopefully not. Like I say, the older trees will have some resilience to them, or some resistance. They take many more years to die off. So hopefully we won't be ashless, but certainly it's something to bear in mind and keep looking out for. And obviously the UK continue to do a lot of research in this area, and hopefully we can start in years to come look at planting resistant ash trees.
So once they've looked and checked, people should contact you on what number? How do you hold you?
If you've checked and you think you've got Chalara, we are just looking to monitor where it is on the island. So just let us know, either 695 701, which is our general number, or send us an email with some good photos and a location to forestry@gov.im.